What's up everybody? Last time we took you on a boat tour is of our Catalina 34, but we've moved on and we want to take you on a tour of our 1984 Islander 28. Welcome aboard. Okay, so some of you might be asking, why did we downsize from a 34 to a 28? Well, our reason was, for the size of this lake, we decided we don't need such a big boat. And one day we will have that big boat when we decide to cross oceans. But for now, this is our perfect size for our family. So I want to take you into the galley here. So first things first, we still do have a cooler. When we go out, it's usually only for a few days at a time, so we stuff some ice packs down there or blocks of ice, and we're able to stick a lot in there still, especially for what we need. So you just lift this top up, there's shelving, there's plenty of space. There's different shelves and stuff for us to be able to separate the items and keep the cold stuff on the bottom, and there's really no hassle at all. One of my favorite things is that it came with the boat, but this is a cutting board and it gives us a little bit more counter space. So if we're not using the stove right now, I still have all of this to be able to work and prep. Pretty basic, but we have drawers that we hold our utensils, some tea, silverware, lighters, kind of just different generic stuff. Same with spatulas, tin foil, saran wrap, all the good stuff. We also have quite a bit of storage back here. It allows us to hold cups, plates, a little extra food, pots, pans, salt and pepper, different things like that. It opens up on both sides, and again, plenty of space for what we use it for. But what I also like is that I can take this off. I usually set it underneath the sink, so I still have this counter space now while I'm working on the stove. All it takes is those green can Coleman, like typical gas propane tanks. And I have two burners here. You just light it up and let her rip. So our panel is located behind our sink, and everything is very accessible on this boat. Very easy to get to, which is awesome. But that is our galley. All right, moving on to sleeping quarters. So this is a very spacious area for somebody to sleep. It sleeps me, a full person. Will can sleep in this as well. There's a light under here, which is really nice, and there's two ports that allow some fresh air to come in. Located under here is easy access to our fresh water valve for the engine. One thing we really like about the Islander 28 is the engine access. We have a Yanmar diesel engine, and you take the stairs off and the engine's right there, so it's super simple to get to. On the starboard side settee, we have plenty of storage behind the couch here, but that opens up to storage, but it also folds out into a full-size bed, so two people are able to sleep on that as well. Underneath the cushions, our fresh water tank is held under there as well. So if you want to make this out into a full-size bed, you have to take everything off basically. This is just how we get it set up, but it's worth it. We store the legs to the bed back behind in the storage behind the settee, but they just screw on to both sides. Alright guys, it is very simple to be able to set this bed up. Just takes a little bit of work. You take these cushions back and use it as your mattress. Boom. Over here on the port side settee, we have, this one's just a couch. It doesn't fold out into anything, but it still holds the storage behind the cushion. And underneath the settee, we have access to our house battery as well as a through hole. Something that's really important to us on a smaller boat is just the amount of space that we can occupy and things aren't in the way. So having the table be able to fold up and get out of the way is very, very important. But it also folds down and folds out, so it's plenty big enough for everybody here. And then it just pops down. And it stays like that, so you can keep it short, or there's a couple different handles that come out, and you can fold it over as well. Something I also really like about this is that there's free leg space underneath there. So when there's both people sitting on each side, you don't have to worry about just a table stand being in the way. Slide it back up. All right, as we move forward, we're gonna step into the head initially, but it also opens up into the V-berth. So the head is a little bit smaller, but for what we use it for, like I said, 2 to maybe 4 days, this is a perfect size for us. There is storage behind the sink, and it allows you to hold plenty of, like, we have first aid and toiletries in there. It opens up on both sides, and you really don't need much more than that. Our head is located behind the door, and our black water tank holds about 15 to 20 gallons. I do love the detailed work because there are a couple lights in here. There's some hangers and hooks to be able to hold clothes, as well as ports to allow some fresh airflow. The bed itself is big. It fits 2 adults for sure. Depends on your comfort level and what kind of space you need. 2 people can sleep up here. 1 is more comfortable. On both sides, the port side and the starboard side, they have lamps. So if you're wanting to read at night or whatever you're doing, you need to see light, they have them on both sides, which I really enjoy, as well as hooks for if you're needing to hang stuff. Alright guys, so closing out the tour of the inside of the boat. We think it's perfect for the family of 3 and the things that we do on it. We, like I've said a few different times, is we take it out for only a few days. If you're okay with being in smaller spaces, then I definitely think that it's a good coastal cruising boat as well. We have it on a lake, but it's very doable on the ocean as well.
This is a Robert Perry designed boat. It's sloop rigged. He says that this is one of his favorite designs that he created. This boat sails amazing. It's very balanced. It sails upwind very well. It's really a pleasure to sail. It's very easy to single hand because it's a 28. It's just easy to handle. We've sailed the Newport 27, a Catalina 34, and this boat balances very well. It's not as heavy as the Catalina 34, but for being a smaller boat, for what we use it for, it's a pleasure to sail. We were super lucky that this boat came with great canvas. We have the Bimini, and then we also have the Dodger. So being that we sail up here in the Northwest, it just extends our season, lets you get out. Maybe it's drizzling or whatever, but it's just a little bit more comfortable. So we do like to kind of fold this back when we don't need it. It just seems to give the cockpit a little bit more space. But the Dodger has been a game changer. Just getting out of the wind, it just makes it so much nicer. Yeah, we're lucky that we scored with this boat. So we do have some access to some electrical and also our diesel heater and stuff right here. Also our starter battery is down there in this port side lazarette. So it's a little tight. When I crawl down in there, it's super tight for me. But you can access some stuff. We store some ropes and stuff like that down there. Yeah, it's a pretty decent sized lazarette for a 28-foot boat. So our boat comes with a helm. It doesn't have the tiller, so that does take up a little bit of space in the cockpit. It's kind of personal preference if you like that or not. It does have autopilot on our boat. It does also have an old Signet unit that gives us our knots and depth, which our depth doesn't work, but you can replace these Signet units. So you do have to come forward to raise the mainsail, which is fine. We don't have everything ran aft, that's okay. It's super easy, one person come up, it's a small enough sail. It's super simple to come up here and raise the mainsail. We have 2 reefs in our mainsail. For this lake, we might use 1 reef. We don't typically have to use 2 reefs. We have about 120% Genoa for our furled head sail. We also have a spinnaker, a light air sail that we can sail. It's asymmetrical spinnaker. Yeah, that's the sail plan we have for this boat. So we do have a chain locker up front here. It's pretty simple. You just flip that latch there, open that up. You keep your chain and your rode in there, and we have about 300 feet of chain and rode combined. Again, it's a pretty small boat, so we just have a little fortress anchor, and that's how we anchor up.
If you watched all of this, thank you so much. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section. We'd love to engage with everybody that either is looking for an Islander 28, already has one. We'd love to follow up with you and connect. Also, please make sure you subscribe. It helps us out so much. And thanks so much for watching.